So we just got some crazy news that just dropped that Baker Mayfield has been traded from the Cleveland Browns to the Carolina Panthers. It came out here from Ian Rappaport in the past 10 to 15 minutes. A new QB in Carolina. The Panthers are acquiring former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield from the Browns for a 2024 conditional 5th round draft pick, sources tell me and Tom Pelissero. Deal is pending a physical. All parties split the financials to make it happen. And here's the big key right here is the financials. So here from Mike Garofalo, the Browns will pay Baker Mayfield $10.5 million this season, which means they trimmed over $8 million in cash in salary cap space. The Panthers will pay Mayfield $5 million. Mayfield agreed to trim $3.5 million off his salary base. So the Carolina Panthers are getting Baker Mayfield for $5 million, which I think is a huge, huge steal for Baker Mayfield. Last year, Baker did struggle. I think, honestly, it had to do a lot with his injury. And I think with him hopefully being healthy, he's going to be a lot better next year when he comes to Carolina. And this has been one of the biggest discussions of the offseason when it comes in general to the Cleveland Browns QB situation ever since they bring in Deshaun Watson and pay him that massive $230 million guaranteed contract. There were questions as to what was going to happen with Baker Mayfield because, rightly so, he was a little angry when the Browns had committed to him, given him the 5th-year option in the past, and then they decided to come in and give the reins to Deshaun Watson. And so since that point, since Deshaun Watson entered Cleveland, it really seemed like Baker Mayfield was going to end up on another team. Around the draft, there were talks of Carolina being a big team, maybe Seattle as well, 2 teams that really needed some boost in the QB position. And so now with the Panthers drafting Matt Corral, it sort of seemed like, okay, maybe they're not going to make a move for Baker Mayfield. But now it has been official that the Carolina Panthers do, in fact, want Baker Mayfield. And I think to get him for only $5 million is a huge steal. I'm not sure if that's just the base salary because I'm guessing there's some more incentives. Because if it's only $5 million, considering some quarterbacks are making $50 million like Aaron Rodgers, clearly he's the best of the best. But to get a quarterback for $5 million is pretty crazy. So I would assume maybe there's some incentives there as well for Baker Mayfield if he can come in and play. But if he, comes in here and plays really well, I think there's a much bigger contract awaiting Baker Mayfield. He just needed an opportunity from some kind of team to come in here and sign him. So now when you look at the Browns situation, they don't know how long Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended by the NFL. That news has not yet come out. And so now without Baker Mayfield, they're stuck with Jacoby Brissett, which if I was the Browns, I would have liked to find a way to get Baker back just to play in the games that Deshaun Watson could potentially miss because I do think he is a much better option than Jacoby Brissett. But it really seemed like both sides, on the Browns side as well as Baker Mayfield's side, it really seemed like things weren't going to get fixed between them because even a week or so ago, Baker Mayfield said when discussing reuniting with the Browns, he said, well, maybe if they were to reach out to me, maybe I would do it. But it really seemed like the Browns weren't really looking to do that. So now they trade him away for only a conditional 5th round draft pick, which I feel like for Baker Mayfield, even though I think he's not a top 10 QB, that's not a bad trade if you're the Carolina Panthers. You have Sam Darnold there, who I think Baker Mayfield is an upgrade over Sam Darnold. And if you're the Panthers, you hope he comes in and can look like he did back in the 2020 season, throwing 26 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. A pretty solid year by Baker Mayfield that year. So if they can get that Baker Mayfield with only giving up a 5th round draft pick and only having to pay him around $5 million, that's a great, great move by the Carolina Panthers. And the Browns in this situation, they weren't going to win with Baker Mayfield. They were stuck with his contract, and luckily for them, the Panthers were willing to pay a little bit of it, so I guess it's better for them than if they paid none of it. So they get rid of Baker Mayfield. They don't have to deal with that situation now with Baker Mayfield now going to Carolina. So the question is, what will the Panthers look like with Baker Mayfield as opposed to Sam Darnold? That's a question that all of us will have to wait and see if Baker Mayfield can play to his former self. And if he does, as I said earlier, he could get a big contract coming in the future if he can come in and do something with this Carolina Panthers team. To have, a weapon like Christian McCaffrey, dual threat running back, receiver, a monster in fantasy football. If he can stay healthy, I think this Browns offense could look okay. We'll see what Baker Mayfield, the Carolina Panthers, get. But this is a good deal, I think, for the Panthers. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about this deal if you like it. If you think it's a good move for the Panthers, let me know in the comments down below. But if you guys have not subscribed, I put out NFL content on this channel, news, updates, all that kind of stuff. So you want to see more of that, feel free to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys next time.